What I got here is the Mavic 3 Cine. It is one of the most beefy portable drones that you can currently buy from DJI, and it is also one of the most expensive portable drones that you can currently buy from DJI. Is it the best one though, for the money that you pay? Say. Ooh! Peter Lindgren is back, va? You know, from the last video that I posted about the Sony a7S III 2 years later, that kind of stuff, I feel a little bit rejuvenated and wanted to get back and make a little bit of a talking head style kind of videos again, where I talk about my thoughts and opinions on different stuff, because I realized I haven't done that in a lot of videos lately, and I miss it. It is fun. And it's also a very good excuse to spend a little bit more time with you. So if this is your first time watching, welcome to the channel. Hope you're gonna enjoy this video, and if you do, don't forget to subscribe. That would be highly appreciated. And watch the video till the very end. Decide if you like it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. When the Mavic 3 was released, I had the privilege of actually using this approximately 2 months before its release and actually test the drone out, fly it around, see the image quality, do the different edits, and just get a feel of how the drone is. But when it was released, it also lacked a little bit of features that you currently have, such as a sharper telephoto lens. You can shoot photos with the telephoto lens. There's multiple different things that I didn't have when the drone was released. When I got it for the first time, I was really impressed by it. I think it was one of the best drones that I've ever flown. But for the price though, of course, if you're working with the filmmaking stuff and you want to make sure that you're not having to be bringing a memory card and just send up the drone, get the shot, and then you're done, back down, get highest quality possible, this drone has it. It's like ProRes, you have the 1 terabyte SSD, all that good stuff. But it's also not something that the average Joe can afford, because this is a very expensive drone. And recently, DJI also released the DJI Mini 3 Pro, which has been my go-to drone for the last 6 months. I love it. I think it's one of the most fantastic drones that has been released in a very long time. When I was in Iceland though, I did realize its biggest weakness. And if you want to see the vlogs from that trip, you can head over to my vlog channel. I'm gonna drop a link down below. There's a bunch of fun stuff together with me and my buddy Oscar, so head over and check it out. Everything that is not really related to camera stuff ends up on that channel, and everything that is camera related and tech related ends up on this channel. But when we were driving in the highlands of Iceland, we actually used Oscar's Air 2S for the majority of the shots, mainly because it was just so easy to send up. It is steady when you have a little bit of wind gusts, and you know that you can rely on the footage to come out really crisp. Not that this drone can't provide that, but if you look at the camera difference between this drone and the Air 2S, then you can definitely see that there's a huge beefy camera on the Air 2S. And if you move up to the Mavic 3 Cine, then it's not very hard to see that the camera in this drone is bigger than this drone. And the Air 2S is also a drone that I used for a very long period of time, and I actually used it ever since it was released, up until the Mavic 3 was released, and then I switched up to the Mavic. The only reason that I kind of switched up to the Mavic is because I want to have the best image quality possible whenever I can in my camera bag, and this provided that. And when it comes to the Mini 3 Pro, you do have the 10-bit in the latest update, which is fantastic, but you can also see that the image doesn't look as good as the Air 2S. Another thing that is very important when it comes to a drone is the ease of use and where you can fly it and where you can't fly it. Because flying a drone like this, the Mavic 3 Cine, it requires permissions. You gotta make sure that you're not flying above people and all that like there's so many rules that you need to adhere to, but when you're flying a drone like this, it's under 249 grams, so you can just send it up and fly wherever you want and basically get the shots that you want. And the Mavic 3 is also a way bigger drone when you compare it side by side, and I would say that the Air 2S is just a little bit bigger than the Mini 3. It is still very small for the image quality that you get. Drone-wise, after using all of these drones, unfortunately I don't have the Air 2S anymore because I sold it when I got this drone. It's very unnecessary to have multiple different drones when you are just using one of them. So sold it to someone that had a little bit better use for it and might start their own career flying things, which is kind of cool. But after using the Mavic 3 and the Mini 3 Pro and the Air 2S for an extensive period of time, I do feel that if you were to buy a drone today and you want to have the best compromise between like image quality and size and less hassle to send the drone up, then the Mini 3 Pro is for you. However though, you gotta be cautious when you're flying this in strong winds. It's not that the props can't handle some strong wind, but what is going to happen is that the drone is going to blow away because it's too light. So it's not that it's not powerful enough, it's just that it's too light so the wind grabs it. But if you want to make sure that your footage is a little bit cleaner and you have a little bit less noise and a little bit less grain and all that stuff, I would not recommend you as a regular user to go up to the Mavic 3 Cine because that's just too much money. I think that this is for those that need the absolute best in their workflow. But the Air 2S though, that should be right here, is probably the best mid-ground of everything that DJI currently has to offer. The only thing that I feel that the Air 2S is lacking is the variable aperture. If that would have had variable aperture, then that would be the ultimate drone to bring with you on trips. But right now, I think that the Mini 3 Pro and the Air 2S are two incredibly good buys. And if you have the money, you want to spend $5 grand on the Mavic 3 Cine, then so be it. Do that because you're gonna get the best image quality possible and the simplest workflow ever to be seen from a drone. But it's also a lot of money. There you go. There you have my opinions. And you're probably thinking that, oh, Peter, but you should definitely talk about the DJI Avata. I know. I am working on the review on the DJI Avata. Fun thing, Avata sounds like I'm just gonna bring the Mazda. I'm just gonna bring the Avata. It's like, sounds like a car. I'm working on that video, so it's coming soonish, but you gotta stay tuned because there's a lot of things that I want to say about it, good and bad things, but stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a good one. Thumbs up. All that good stuff. See you in the next video. Take care.